Good day, children, and welcome to another edition of Simplifying Fractions. We're going to be simplifying fractions, beginning with a simple fraction in 4/8. All we need to do is list the factor pairs of the top number and the bottom number. So let's do that. We know that 1 times 4 is 4, and we know that 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 8 is 8, and we know that 2 times 4 is 8. Now, what is the biggest number that appears on both lists? That's right. 4 is the biggest number that appears on both lists, thus 4 is the greatest common factor. Now, all we have to do to simplify this fraction is divide the top number and the bottom number by 4, because it is the greatest common factor, and we will have our fraction simplified. 4 divided by itself is 1, and 8 divided by 4 is 2. Thus, we can simplify that to 1/2. Now, it's the same process for every fraction out there. Let's do it with this one right here as well. So now we have 6 and 9. Let's find the factor pairs of 6. 1 times 6 is 6, and then 2 times 3 is 6. Now let's find the factor pairs for 9. 1 times 9 is 9, and 3 times 3 is 9. And now the biggest number that appears on both lists is 3. So that, my friends, is the greatest common factor, also known as the GCF, and we can simply divide the top and the bottom number of that fraction by the GCF, which is 3, to determine what it is in simplest form. So let's go ahead and do that. We know that 6 divided by 3 is 2. And we know that 9 divided by 3 is 3. So thus that simplifies to 2/3. Now let's do that for 10/25. Remember, we have to put the factor pairs of both numbers to find the GCF. We have 1 times 10 is 10. And we know that 2... sorry, my pen's not wanting to work. It's wanting to freeze. There we go. It came back. It's alive. It's alive. We know that 2 times 5 is 10. Now we have to do the same thing with 25. 1 times 25 is 25. 2 won't go into 25 evenly. Neither will 3, neither will 4, but 5 will. We know that 5 times 5 is 25. 5 is the greatest common factor. It's the biggest number that appears on both lists. So now we can simply divide the top and the bottom number by 5. So let's go ahead and do that. So now we have 10 divided by 5 is 2. And 25 divided by 5 is 5. So that now simplifies to 2/5. Same thing for 12/16. Let's do this. We got 1 times 12 is 12, and 2 times 6 is 12, and then, of course, 3 times 4 is 12. Now let's do that for 16. 1 times 16 is 16. 2 times 8 is 16, and 4 times 4 is 16. The biggest number that appears on both lists is 4. Thus, the greatest common factor is 4. So we're going to divide the top and the bottom number by 4 to simplify the fraction. So let's do it. We got 12 divided by 4 is 3, and 16 divided by 4 is 4. Thus, this simplifies to 3/4. Let's keep going. Now we have 9/15. First step, put the factor pairs. 1 times 9 is 9, and 3 times 3 is 9. Now let's do the factor pairs of 15. 1 times 15 is 15, and 3 times 5 is 15. What is the biggest number that appears on both lists? That's correct. The biggest number is 3. Thus, the GCF is 3. So now we simply have to divide the top number and the bottom number by the greatest common factor of 3. So we divide 9 by 3, and we divide 15 by 3. 9 divided by 3 is 3, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. Thus, that simplifies to 3/5. Now, let's try another one. Hold up, I gotta scroll down. Technical difficulties. Now we got 8 over 32. We gotta simplify this bad boy. Let's list the factor pairs of 8. 1 times 8 is 8. And we know that 2 times 4 is 8. Now let's list the factor pairs of 32. 1 times 32 is 32. 2 times 16 is 32. And 3 won't go into 32, but 4 will. We know that 4 times 8 is 32. Now, the question is, what is the biggest number that appears on both lists? Well, let's take a look here. Aha! We have an 8, and we have an 8. 8 is the greatest common factor of 8 and 32. So let's go ahead and erase this. Let's divide the top and the bottom number by 8, since that is the GCF. 8 divided by itself is 1, and 32 divided by 8 is 4. Thus, that simplifies to 1/4. Let's do another one. Now we have 35 and 49. We got to simplify these numbers by simply coming up with the greatest common factor. 1 times 35 is 35. 2 won't go into 35. 3 won't go into 35. 4 won't go into 35, but 5 will. We know that 5 times 7 is 35. 1 times 49 is 49. 2 won't go into 49. 3 won't go into 49. 4, 5, 6, 7 will, though. 7 goes into 49 because 7 times 7 is 49. And, of course, the biggest number that is on both lists is, in fact, 7. Now, we just have to divide the top and the bottom number by 7. So let's go ahead and do that. 35 divided by 7 is 5. And 49 divided by 7 is 7. Da, 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 da. So, in simplest form, we have 5/7. Let's do another one. Again, we're listing the factor pairs of 45. 1 times 45 is 45. 2 won't go into 45. 3 will, though. Did you know that 3 times 15 is 45? 4 won't go into 45, but 5 will. We know that 5 times 9 is 45. And that's about it. Now let's move on down to 60. We got 1 times 60 is 60. 2 times 30 is 60. And then 3 times 20 is 60. And then 4 times 15 is 60. And then 5 times 12 is 60. And then 6 times 10 is 60. Oh my gosh. I apologize. I ran out of room. But what is the largest number that appears on both lists? That's right. It is, in fact, 15, it looks like. 15 is the greatest common factor of 45 and 60. So let's go ahead and divide the top and the bottom number by 15. Oh no, I hit a button. This might have to be the last one because I messed everything up. 45 divided by 15 and 60 divided by 15. 45 divided by 15 is 3, and 60 divided by 15 is 4. Anyways, sorry I messed everything up, but that was a good set of examples, hopefully helpful to you. Wait, I think I might have fixed it. So let's try another example just because I really want to try another example. 63 over 81. 63 over 81, we list the factor pairs of 63 and 81. I know that 1 times 63 is 63. Will 2 go into 63? No. Will 3 go into 63? Well, if you don't know, you can always do 63 divided by 3. And yes, it does. I know that 3 times 21 is 63. Will 4 go into 63? No. Will 5 go into 63? No. Will 6 go into 63? Well, again, if you don't know, you can always divide 63 by 6, and I get a decimal, so that won't work. 7 into 63, ooh, 7 will go into 63, won't it? 63 divided by 7 is 9, so 7 times 9 is 63. And now I do the same thing with 81, factor pairs. 1 times 81 is 81. 2 won't go into 81, 3 won't go into 81, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is the last number to go into 81. That is the greatest common factor. And so now we can simply divide the top and the bottom number by 9. So let's do that real quick and see if we have a simplest form fraction. 63 divided by 9 is 7, and 81 divided by 9 is 9. Thus, this simplifies to 7/9. And now, we come to the last one. I wanted to do 10 examples. Let's do the last one real quick. We have 55 over 65. 1 times 55 is 55. 2 won't go into 55. 3 won't go into 55. 4 won't go into 55. But will 5 go into 55? You betcha. 5 times 11 is 55. Now we're going to do the same with 65. 1 times 65 is 65. 2 won't go into it. 3 won't go into it. But 5 will. Do you know how many times 5 will go into 65? That's right. 5 times 13 is 65. And that's just about it, y'all. So what is the biggest number that appears on both lists? Well, looks like it's 5, y'all. So let's go ahead and divide the top and the bottom number by 5. Let's see what we have here. 55 divided by 5 and 65 divided by 5. We know that 55 divided by 5 is 11. And 65 divided by 5 is 13. Thus, we have simplified all of these fractions, despite the technical difficulties, using the greatest common factor. I do hope that was helpful. If it was, great. It made my day. I'm super happy about it. Good luck, y'all.